OVERDRIVE 20th Anniversary OVD PMG Sync Corporation present Slash featuring Mars Kennedy live in Bangkok 2019 GMM Live House วันที่ 10 มกราคม 2019 Slash มือกีตาร์ตัวเจ็บจาก Guns N' Roses มาพร้อมกับ Mars Kennedy กับ Rock Concert เต็มรูปแบบบัตรราคา 2,200 และ 3,200 บาทสนับสนุนโดย Sync Corporation Slash live in Bangkok 10 มกราคม 2019
สวัสดีค่ะ OverdriveLive ทาง Line TV หนูทลาซาค่ะสโลแกนของเราก็คือ Music is not what I do it's who I am ดนตรีไม่ใช่สิ่งที่เราทำแต่คือสิ่งที่เราเป็นวันนี้อาจารย์ปราดก็จะมาสัมภาษณ์กับ Nick Johnston มือกีตาร์ชาวแคนาดาซึ่งเล่นแนวกีตาร์ที่เป็นแนวเฉพาะแล้วก็มีเอกลักษณ์อย่างมากแถม Nick Johnston ก็เป็นกีตาร์กี๊กแล้วก็เป็นคอมิกกี๊กเหมือนกันค่ะเราลองไปฟังกันเลยค่ะว่าบทสัมภาษณ์มีอะไรบ้าง
Hi, Nick.
Hello.
Welcome to Thailand.
Man, it's great to be here.
You did first time here?
Third time.
Third time?
I can't believe it. Third time. I actually can't believe I get to go to all these places.
Oh, okay. And the first and second you come for?
The first time I was here was I think it was in October of 2015.
Okay.
For a clinic for Schecter guitars.
You come with the Schecter.
Yeah, when I had my first guitar with them, and then 2016, I came with my band on tour with another instrumental band called Animals as Leaders. And we played
you play with Torsen?
Yeah, so we played in Bangkok, and then it's been 2 years, and here doing a full Mesa Boogie Clinic tour.
Oh, yeah.
So this is stop number 7.
Oh, okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Time has flown by. I've been on this tour for like it's over 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's been good, yeah.
And you have a music school? You have or you self-taught?
A music school, like was I ever teaching? Is that what you're asking?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's actually a good question. Yeah, when I was 18, I graduated high school.
Okay.
And I didn't ever want to get a job.
Okay.
So I went to a school, a private music, like a music store even.
Okay. Music store.
That had
have a music lesson.
Yeah, and I would go there and I basically begged for a job. Can I please have it? To teach, because I didn't want my mom told me don't come home until you get a job. When I finished high school, don't come home until you get a job. So I got a job teaching just some really basic stuff.
Okay.
But I had a job.
Okay.
And my first job as a human being in society was teaching. guitar,
Okay.
which was already a huge accomplishment. Like, oh my gosh, I get to teach guitar now, and I can talk about guitar all day with people and get paid for it. Life is good. Life is great.
Yeah.
But I soon learned, you know, pretty much within the first month, it wasn't where I was gonna stay. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I did it for a couple of years. But I knew in the back of my mind, I knew that that wasn't the end. Because I thought of it like at 18 years old, I've already found no, this can't be it. This can't be it. So I taught there for a while, and in a way, because I was never taught.
Okay.
I learned a lot about music theory and all that stuff because I was backed into a corner almost. You have to teach these kids or these adults. What are you going to show them? I'll learn harmony. And then pretty much, after that, I started releasing music and started trying to play the music.
Okay. And on your playing, I mean.
Oh, my playing, yes. I guess that's
you
important.
Self-taught? You have a
self-taught guitar player, yes. Long hours in the bedroom.
Okay.
Playing guitar, playing with people. I had a lot of really, really good friends growing up that also obsessed over the instrument as much as I did. Unfortunately, all of them quit because of life.
Okay.
Making it difficult to make a living, and they got married and met girls and stuff.
Okay.
So I'm, one of the few of that group of people that continued to play, and thankfully, it kind of went somewhere, or else I would have had to quit as well. But yeah, self-taught, pretty much from 14 until now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I learned enough just from talking to people.
Okay.
Listening, and then if something doesn't make sense or if you don't understand what this is, you ask someone who's better than you.
Talking with another musician.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially if they're not a guitar player.
Okay.
You can talk to a great piano player, a great saxophone.
Okay.
Like, what is that? What did you just play? Oh, that's maybe you heard something like this, right? Where it had. Like, what is that? Oh, that's called Lydian. Like, Lydian, and then you go find out what that is, and so anytime I hear something like that. All that, you're like, that all sounds the same. It's got that magic kind of twinkle to it. It's Lydian. Or, anything. Maybe it had something that's a little darker sounding, like it had. What is that? I hear that a lot in world music, or I hear that a lot in a movie score where it takes place in Egypt. What is that?
Okay.
You learn, it's called Phrygian dominant. And you learn about that, and little pieces of the puzzle just over a long period of time. I remember hearing, The Simpsons.
Okay.
It's got that. There's a flat 5 in that melody.
Okay.
I remember hearing that as a kid, being like, "Why does that sound so weird?" The Simpsons is actually based off of what's called Lydian dominant, which has this. Which is very unusual. For it's got this like weird whole tone thing in it. And I remember asking, what is that? And like, oh, it's Lydian dominant. It's like, really? It's got this dense harmony in it. It's just a kid's TV show. Well, not really, but. So you just talk, and if you're curious, you ask and you find it, and then hopefully with that information, you try and do something with it. It's always been my thing. Is just if you're curious, ask. It's okay to look like an idiot. It's okay. There's no bad question. At least you ask the question.
Okay. Your technique is pretty good.
Oh, sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. Can you show me how to start, how to play, how to?
Yeah, in which respect? Like in terms of how I would play, or how anybody would maybe learn guitar.
Okay.
How specific can you get? What do you think?
If I play guitar like 10 years.
Oh.
Okay. I can play anything, but I love your technique. It's like a lot of legato
Oh yeah.
and a lot of vibrato with your hand
Oh yeah.
or something like that
Sure. Yeah. Well, I kind of base everything in a sense off of a couple things. Like I use a lot of the pentatonic scale,
okay
just the minor pentatonic scale,
okay
and I use a lot of arpeggios.
okay
So between those two things, like if I had say it was in G minor, I might look at that as like. So it's like minor pentatonic
okay
using G minor.
That's minor pentatonic
Well, combined with a bunch of other stuff.
Okay.
Combined with.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So like
That's cool. That's
yeah.
cool.
So there's like this. Just if I was going to break that down a little bit, like that would be the scale there. There's G minor here. G minor here. Here.
Okay. Chill.
Then I'm using like the full arpeggio. Then I used minor pentatonic with a six in it. Then I went to the minor six, which would be this. But versus this versus. I'm thinking about just the minor pentatonic scale, arpeggio, and maybe adding a tension. That has been something. I mean, as I'm talking about it, I'm also realizing how that's not super intuitive for people. It's not an obvious thing because you have to kind of know. You have to know these shapes first. You have to know the patterns.
Okay,
obviously, you gotta learn that stuff. And you gotta learn your theory a little bit. You have to understand what a major six is.
Okay.
If I heard a G chord or a G note against, in this case, an E.
Okay.
If I played those at the same time, it could sound minor. It could sound tense. If I put the third in there as well, now it's got to be.
Yeah.
But all together, all that kind of gypsy jazz stuff has that chord. Versus a minor. Put those together. Very tense again. It's kind of the vibe there. But yeah, really focusing on that six, huge thing that I like to do, massive. And then the flat five and the major seven and blah, blah, blah. All that. But yeah,
a lot of that.
Yeah, all that stuff. So I think really, if you're gonna play something similar to how I would approach it, it's taking a lot of just the alternate picking out of the equation, because I can't really do that. It's even with my middle finger, right? Like,
Okay.
I can't really do it. So it's a lot of legato, it's a lot of string skipping, a lot of hybrid picking, a lot of arpeggios, using intervals specifically, you know. Or harmonic minor. All that kind of stuff. It's kind of fun.
Can you give me about just a basic hybrid picking?
Sure,
Just one or
yeah.
two?
Simple idea. So I do this a lot. If it's like, say we had C minor, I'm gonna approach it like a C minor 7.
Okay.
So I'm gonna down pick, hammer on, down, middle finger. Now if I'm gonna start on the 3rd and go up to the 9 now. So there's like. Or if I did the whole scale. But just that. That's an arpeggio. If I was going to do something even simpler, let's say this. If I had C minor again, I might even approach it like this. Instead of, if I'm going to practice it, it has to be an upstroke when you're crossing the strings. Or there's a lick in Cliffs of Dover.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, anytime you can take something and skip a string. It's pretty straightforward at that point, you know. Or anytime, yeah, even there, like I'm going. Yeah, just anywhere you would do with an upstroke, you just use your middle finger.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I play upstroke, I use the middle finger
Exactly.
instead.
Exactly. It's hard for me to really break that down because when I'm doing it, I'm not really thinking about it. And I've been doing it for so long, probably 16 years, that it's just part of how I play now. You know, it's like built in. It's not really something. Oh, how have you been picking? That's just how I play.
And can you give me a lesson for the good legato?
Good legato
for left
technique.
hand.
I could try, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Something really simple. I mean, I used to do stuff like this all the time. It would just be like, just working those muscles and try and mute it. And still get a good attack out of it. And change. And then just try to find patterns. Like the pattern I use a lot is this. usually it's a sequence, right? So
Okay.
so if I did a cross down G major, it would look like this. So here's the lick actually. Check this out.
Just go.
Yeah, a little faster. That was a little faster. And finally, but it uses my middle finger too. So if I'm going like, doesn't sound overly musical because it's not. It's just meant to really burn those hands in. And then I would do stuff where I'm just looping. Whatever you can do just to repeat it. And then I would try and play a long sequence, like if I was in F minor. Just see if I went, my hands are kind of tired already, but like if I went, I would just try and play as long as I possibly could, from one end of the neck to the other.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so that's just like, in that case, you have to know how the stuff connects on the neck, the theory and stuff, and your arpeggios, and have some ideas down. But it really just starts with one or two things. I love doing the thing where it's like you have the same note on two different strings. So if I had like a G,
Okay.
and I'm just middle finger
Okay.
upstroke.
Just
I can use. It doesn't matter, just my middle finger.
and on that string you just hammer on.
Yeah. So if I was playing like. Or something where I can just get that. If you mute it too. Just have it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, anything like that.
Thank you.
Silly, very silly
Okay.
stuff.
When you writing the song, you writing with the guitar or piano or
Yeah, it depends where I am. If I'm in a hotel room,
okay. Okay.
usually the guitar. If I'm at home, I try to. I love playing the guitar, so I'm always playing. I'm always messing around. It's funny. I'll get home from this tour and I'll say to myself, Nick, you're not going to touch the guitar for 2 days, and
Okay.
within an hour I'm playing guitar. You're like, it just is what it is, right? You're like, I call it you're institutionalized, meaning you. It's almost like if someone went to jail for 20 years,
Okay.
and they got out of jail and they didn't know what to do. They're like, the world's changed. I got to go back to jail because I'm comfortable. It's the
Okay.
same thing with the guitar. It's like if I get away from this thing for too long, I'm like,
Okay.
what do I do? So I'm always playing guitar. I'm always working on stuff, and I always have things I want to get better at. But I've noticed now at 31, I've written 5 albums worth of material.
Okay.
The guitar doesn't really offer as much as I want for writing anymore. What I mean is, it sounds like a guitar. Sometimes I don't want that. Sometimes I want a piano sound, or I want an organ sound, or I want a string sound, or I want a stupid like choir
Okay.
sound. It doesn't matter, anything, because something might spark something. At this point, I'm looking for anything.
Okay.
I'm looking for
Okay.
anything that's going to give me like a new feeling, or like whatever this is. I want, like, give me something new. And a lot of times this is now You know, it's like I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Like if I'm gonna sit there too long with a guitar, I'm gonna. It's not a song. It's a stupid little trick that you can do to make someone go wow. I want something that I can write a new melody or like some harmony, and the piano is laid out so intelligently. If you hit that note, it's not like this. If you hit the one note in one spot, it's there.
Yeah.
Play a chord and hear the melody on it. I love that. For the inner writer. I've been playing piano since I was about 18.
Oh.
Not well.
Okay.
Not well.
Okay.
But enough to write. Enough to mess around, you know.
Okay. On your guitar,
Sure.
What string do you use?
I'm using D'Addario strings.
Okay.
I'm using NYXL strings. These are balanced tension 10 gauge strings.
Oh, 10.
So the half gauge is on the B string. I don't know what it is that I like about them. There's something. I think that's the thing with strings is you're dealing in millimeters.
Okay.
You know, with a guitar and like fine details, you're dealing in such a small measurement that any change in the smallest measurement is going to have big, like, compounded effects. You know, if this is off by a millimeter, or if this is off by half, it's, oh man, you start to feel it and it gets in your head and you're like, this isn't working. Smallest difference makes the biggest difference, I think, you know. So yeah, 10 to 40, I guess maybe 42. I tuned down to E flat.
Oh.
It sounds a little bit heavier. I love something about that sound. It's just like it's a little bit heavier. It's very very rock and roll to me. Very like Hendrix or what's that riff? Let me try that again. How's it go again? Wall of Denial by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Something like that. Something like that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
That's what it was. So I love that sound. It's just a little bit heavier, a little fuller.
Yeah.
Just tuned down a half step.
E flat.
Yeah, love it.
Okay. And your guitar neck is graphite or?
This is Wenge with an ebony.
Wood?
Yeah, with an ebony fretboard.
Okay.
We've moved the truss rod down to here now.
Okay,
so
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
And this is a graphite nut, and it's got the locking tuning heads. It's got my silly logo burned in there, as you can see. These are the German Jescar frets, tall as you can get them. Big frets, 25.5 inch, 14-inch radius. These pickups are made by Schecter for me.
Okay.
It's the Schecter Bridge, Master Tone Volume, 5-way.
Okay.
If you feel it, it's a nitro body now. They started spraying with nitro, and you can see it's kind of relicked a little bit. It's a little bit. I'm not sure if that's going to come across on camera, but it's slightly relicked, and it's a great guitar. It's got a cool neck joint. It's cool.
And why you not use a tremolo arm?
I kind of think it's interesting the stuff you can do.
When you,
You know what it is that I like about it? I think is I like the disadvantage that you have to get there in time.
Okay.
Like if I'm playing, like having to move over here as opposed to. It's just a different sound. It creates something. It puts you in a weird position to have to get over there and then get back in time. And I love that or that. There's something about just like getting over there and then trying to get back in time.
Okay.
It just creates some sort of energy, And I used a bar a lot when I was younger. I just didn't like the way I sounded with the bar. I just used it too much. I hated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you come with the Mesa Boogie. Which one do you use?
On this tour, I've been using the Mesa Boogie TC50.
Oh, TC50.
Yeah, so it's a cool amp. Really nice. Really good gear, yeah. Sounds great. Really modern, simple to use.
Okay.
Built like a tank. Yeah.
Okay. Last two questions.
Oh, cool.
Any advice for young musicians?
Any advice for young musicians? Yeah. It has nothing to do with playing guitar, unfortunately. Because it's not hard to learn how to play guitar. You just have to practice. Like anybody can do it. Anybody can learn how to play guitar. The whole thing I think is really, it's the attitude of maybe not letting social media be the only thing that matters to you.
Okay.
You can become really successful and really famous, I guess, or something because of Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. And that's great. I'm really happy that some people can do that. But you're not learning anything. You're not growing. You're not. So I think really when you play with people, when you play live and you play in front of people with a band or by yourself, there's the opportunity to fail.
Okay.
There's no opportunity to fail in your bedroom. You don't grow in your bedroom. Playing in your bedroom on camera is as safe as it can possibly get. And you get that immediate reaction. I have been booed before. I have been super embarrassed.
Okay.
I've broken a string. I've lost gear on stage. I've
Okay.
had people walk out on me. I've played for the janitor and the sound guy only. I didn't have to do those things. And I could still avoid touring. I could still avoid playing live, spending the money to play with a band, and just film myself and get far more success being an Instagram guitar player. But I wouldn't grow. I wouldn't change. I wouldn't become the guitar player I could become. I guess what I'm saying is a lot of the conveniences for young guitar players and the exposure and the information is great. But that shouldn't be all you think about. It should still be the original model, and that is go out, play music. So the musician is the love of God. And also too, don't expect anything because there's so many of us.
Okay.
We're all playing guitar. Just be
Just
humble.
playing.
Just play for the love of playing. See what happens. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That's good. Very good. Yep. Last question.
Yeah.
Do you have philosophy or motto do you use?
On which
Or do you have?
or philosophy. Well, I think really the only thing and I still continue with this in my mind.
Okay.
Is when I started playing guitar, I was 14,
Okay.
and I fell in love with it hopelessly. Just like, oh, I love this thing to death.
Okay.
And at some point, you get a little bit older, and you start to realize you're a human. When you're young, you're not human. You're a kid, right? You can live forever.
Okay.
I just started to, you realize you're like, wait a minute, like. At some point, I won't be able to play guitar because either you die
Okay.
or you get sick or something happens. So my whole thing was just do it as long as you can, but do it to where you are so in love with doing it. Find stuff that makes you happy about it, and you'll just get better because you love it and you're around it all the time. You're talking about it. You're thinking about it. You're listening to it. Music, I mean. Really, I always looked at it as a long game. Like my favorite guitar player, one of them is Jeff Beck, and he's almost 70 years old, and he's still getting better. He's still touring.
Yeah, he's still
it's
touring.
incredible. It's incredible. That's it. That's the whole like. And that's 40 years from now. That for me, that's 40 years from now, which means by the time I'm that age, 70.
Yep.
I'll have been playing guitar for like 56 years. Like that, can you imagine what I'll know or what I'll have written or what I could write in that amount? That's the whole thing for me. It's just like love it and enjoy it and do it as long as you can. Don't expect anything.
Not expect.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you very
You're very
much for
welcome.
your
You're
time.
very welcome. It was a lot of fun.
Nick Johnston ครับ
นิกจอห์นสตันเขาก็ดูเป็นคนที่น่ารักมากเลยค่ะคนหนึ่งแล้วก็ฝีมือกีตาร์ก็ไม่แพ้ใครเลยค่ะยอดเยี่ยมมากค่ะสำหรับวันนี้ก็หมดเวลากับ Overdrive Live นะคะสโลแกนของเราก็คือ Music is not what I do it's who I am ดนตรีไม่ใช่สิ่งที่เราทำแต่คือสิ่งที่เราเป็นหนูทลซาค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ